Hi, my name's Thandi, which means love in Zulu. Thandi Brewer, I suppose you should have the surname. I'm chair of the Writers Guild of South Africa. And we're incredibly excited to be here, A, in New York, but B, more importantly, meeting these amazing fellow writers and minds and discovering we all have pretty much the same issues.
But you were talking yesterday a little bit about the history of your guild and what the situation is for writers in South Africa. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. The Guild in South Africa, we actually have a 30-year history. And then we decided 2 years ago to change from being an association to being a guild. And that's been quite an interesting battle because despite the politics of our country, there isn't much history of unionizing within our industry. And so we've had quite a few very strong battles with that. We also have broadcasters who dislike sharing. Let's put it that way. They dislike sharing IP, they dislike sharing money, they tend to use an awful amount of international material to fill up their screens so that our people are just being fed, forgive me for saying this diet of American, Australian, Canadian, British content, and I have nothing against that because some of the content is amazing, but honestly, Days of Our Lives, I really don't want my country living on Days of Our Lives, and they do that instead of local content.
Are there some South African breakout shows?
We do have some really interesting shows. Some of them actually been nominated for international Emmys. My show was nominated for an international Emmy.
Can you tell me what the name is?
God. I can't even remember anymore. One of them was Usindiso, which means redemption. There was a great comedy series, and I cannot remember the name
So
of
what
that.
language are they written in?
It depends. We have 11 official languages. So as a writer, you have to bear in mind all the different languages and to write within the rhythms of that language. Obviously, my language is English, but my work gets translated, so I will then write in an isiZulu cadence and rhythm, which will then get translated into isiZulu by a Zulu translator or Xhosa.
Is it dubbed or subtitled?
Subtitled.
Subtitled.
The actors themselves will speak in whichever language is required.
Oh, that's really interesting.
So you'll have a TV series that will have about 5 or 6 or 7 languages within it. All of it with its own cadences, its own rhythms. It's an incredibly vibrant culture. It's very exciting. We're changing so much, and the broadcasters are not supporting what they should be supporting about their culture, which they are actually mandated to do, and they're not doing it. So we came here just to meet fellow minds, see what the rest of the world is doing, but it's been amazing, the support, and the incredibly exciting thing of touching minds across boundaries and borders is. It's been wonderful. We're loving it.
Nothing like meeting fellow writers, is there?
Oh, yeah.
And one last question. What about a feature film industry?
We have a very interesting feature film industry because our budgets are very, very small. So we've got a couple of different models. At the moment, we're all looking at the model of making a movie for 2 million rand, which would be about $20,000
US, yeah.
And it's working. The audience is coming to it. They are making a small profit, but they're getting there. But more importantly, the local audiences are really getting it. Whether it will break out internationally, I'm not sure. Again, it's the language issue because they're done in Afrikaans or Zulu or Sesotho or whatever. But we are reaching our audience, and that's exciting. And we have some absolutely amazing projects. Really interesting. It's very exciting. I think we're doing potentially very interesting work, and we have a lot of support from the National Film and Video Foundation, who also talk.
Okay, great. Thank you.